African-American composer to have a symphony performed by a major orchestra. Westminster's The Courage to Believe came together as both a harmonic and protest demanding justice for those who need it, and as a buoyant celebration of the faith and culture. Brown said this happened as the Jubilee Singers are also celebrating their 30th anniversary, so we did a performance more so reflective of the hopes for the ensemble's future and about different belief systems and how we can lean into our shared humanity to continue to create the world that we wish to see. Read more about Westminster and its history of harmonies concert by Mary Simone Collazo on theridernews.com. And just when you thought Rider Wrestling could not get any better, it did just that. On March 6th and 7th, the Bronx steamroll through their Mid-American Conference opponents in Buffalo, New York to win its first ever MAC championship in program history. Going into the NCAA championships will be Elijah Griffin, Will Betancourt, Brock Zarowski, Tyler Klinsky, and Dylan Layton. After 6 years on the Rider Wrestling team, Klinsky is having his best season yet. Head coach John Hange, who has coached him for over half a decade now, is not surprised to see Klinsky finish on top. He's a homegrown product, Hange said. There's no flaws in that kid's character. He's loyal. He's devoted. Betancourt, a transfer from both Ohio and Pennsylvania State Universities, came to Rider as a last chance and cashed in, earning his first NCAA qualification. Read more about Rider Wrestling winning its first ever MAC title on theridernews.com by Benjamin Chenault. All of this week's content can be found on our website, and be sure to stay updated by following @TheRiderNews on all of your social media platforms. I'm Benjamin Chenault, and this has been your Rider News Roundup.
That's all the headlines for this week's Rider News Roundup. But don't worry, we've got you covered every Wednesday with a brand new report to keep you in the know. Catch up on all the stories anytime at theridernews.com and listen to every roundup on demand at 1077thebronx.com/Rider News Roundup. Because when it comes to what's happening at Rider, you'll always hear it here first. And now, let's get back to the biggest hits and the best variety only on 1077 The Bronx.
1077 The Bronx and 1077thebronx.com, winner of 3 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Awards, Best On-Air Pledge Drive for our first ever Radiothon, Best Giveaway for Wake Up Riders Morning Bagel Run and Jewelry Spree, and Best Station Poster by Jake Goebel for Scream Screen. This is the Tri-State Sports Ramble. I am your host, John Coro, and today, for the first time ever in sports or Tri-State Sports Ramble's history, we have our first guest. You probably heard him before when we broadcasted high school football in the fall. You most certainly heard me hop onto his show, and as of recently, you've probably heard us together when broadcasting the Philly Auto Show. So with that being said, let's bring in Nolan McCaffrey. Nolan, how's it going?
Doing very good, John. You know, it's a very exciting time for sports. I always say this. There's 2 times of the year, me personally, that in my opinion, is the best time for sports. I always say in like mid to late October, when it is, you know, obviously in the middle of the football season. We have obviously MLB playoffs, NBA and NHL starting up. So that's a time that I really like. Yeah. And then this time, March Madness, which we'll get into, MLB opening day, you got the NBA and NHL playoffs just around the corner. And obviously, it's always a great time because you start to see the weather changing, even though it's supposed to be cold tomorrow. But it's going to be good this upcoming week. Summer is on the horizon and all the great things that come with summer. So very exciting time, and you know, let's get rolling.
Absolutely, man. You couldn't have said it better. This is the golden age of sports right over here. But it's reminiscent of when I first started here at Rider, September, October. That was the golden era. Now, we're going to start off a little bit with what's going on in the MLB. Talk about the New York Yankees first. 7-0 shutout win at San Francisco on Wednesday. Max Fried looked a little bumpy in the first inning, but was able to bounce back for 6 1/3 shutout. Frames. 5-run second inning would be the main factor. Jose Caballero with an RBI single, 2 RBI knocks from Ryan McMahon, and of course a 2-run triple from Trent Grisham. And how about this, Nolan? Jose Caballero, first ever ABS challenge in MLB history, and guess what? The call stood. I mean, what are the odds, Nolan?
Listen, another thing about that, and I have to get into this, Netflix. What a disgraceful performance in their first broadcast. Yeah. That ABS, the first ABS in the history of Major League Baseball, didn't even show it on the screen.
Yeah.
They didn't even show it. And Netflix had a bet. Listen, I get it's their first game. I get it, but they had a pretty bad night. But going to your point, though, I always wondered about the ABS.
Yeah.
Like how that's going to work. And and then we'll get to the Mets, but a big call in the Met game. I'm liking it so far, but just one thing that I would say, I don't like how it's like 2 or 3 attempts, and if you get it wrong, you're out.
Yeah.
I feel like if the call is wrong, it's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, It doesn't matter if 3 times before the game you challenged and it actually hit the corner. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it should be allowed for all parts of the game. That's just my opinion,
Yeah, no, I feel like I get why the limit is there, just to speed up the tempo of the game. After all, this is what all the rule changes that Rob Manfred have put in. That's what they're for. But I completely get it. I completely agree. It should be unlimited. And I hate reading this headline. Aaron Judge.
Well, listen.
What a performance. 4 strikeouts. What are we doing?
Judge hit a big home run this afternoon to give him a 2-0 lead.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stan added a home run. And I think Stan's going to play very well for the Yankees this year. They get a 3-0 win over the Giants. Cam Schlittler was great. But here's the thing with Judge. Again, WBC, he was not good. He wasn't the only guy that wasn't good. I mean, Schwarber was terrible. I know Harper hit that that late home run to tie it, but for most of the tournament, he was horrible. I love Bobby Witt, and I'm not saying he played badly, but he didn't play up to his standards. So it's not all Judge's fault. But when you're the best hitter in baseball, that's what he is. He's not the best player in baseball because Ohtani with the pitching and obviously the hitting, but the best hitter in baseball is Judge. When you have these stretches on a big, big game, and I think he got a lot of abuse, I would say, the last couple of days for going 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah.
If this was a game in middle of May, Tuesday night, no one would care about it.
Yeah,
Part of it is it's the first game of the season. You got millions of people watching. That's not how it's always going to be. But bottom line with Judge, he's the best player, best hitter in baseball. When you have performances like this, you're going to get criticized. It's not fair, but that's just how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I personally, first of all, you beat me to my point. Yankees did get a 3-0 win, like you said, Nolan, earlier today over the San Francisco Giants. 3-run, 6th-inning would lead the play. And, of course, Cam Schlittler, of course, just leading the charge. I mean, what can we say about the kid? But, yeah, it's the thing that frustrates me with Aaron Judge is that he's going to go off and have a great regular season. 40 home runs, 50 home runs. But in the playoffs, he is terrible. I mean, last year was an exception, but I think the reason why people are criticizing him or it's so quick to jump the gun is just because that we all know how it goes. We all know how the story just carries on.
No, exactly. And I think it's also where, he's a Yankee and, you're going to be put on a stage bigger than unless you're like a Dodger or something like that. But the thing is also and I think this is real, where he's so good in the regular season. His past 4 years, other than in 2023 when he got hurt, getting that ball in Los Angeles, he's posted 3 of those 4 years. And if he didn't get hurt, he would have had another MVP type season, over a 10 WAR season, OPS over 1,000. I mean, he has a career OPS over 1,000. That is I don't think people understand what territory you're in. You're in the territory of Babe Ruth, of Barry Bonds, of Ted Williams. That's how good this guy has been for his whole career, but especially the last 4 years. My point is that when you're so good in the regular season, it was kind of like this with A-Rod a little bit. He was so good in the regular season, but you look at if you look at Judge's numbers in the postseason, they're not bad when you look at it as a average. It's just some regular player. Yeah. But to Aaron Judge, I think he has over an 800 OPS in the postseason. That's pretty good. But when you have 1,000 OPS in the regular season, you know what I mean? Yeah. You're going to get criticized. And I think that has a lot to do with the criticism he's gotten over the past couple years, but especially the last year or so. I think that's when the criticism has really made its way to the top.
Yeah, he just set the bar high. It's his own fault. He set the bar high. Enough about the Yankees, though. We'll dive in. Well, first of all, just to piggyback off the Yankees, went up their upcoming schedule. They will face the San Francisco Giants tomorrow at 7:15. A rare Sunday off. No, you heard that correctly. Yeah. Sunday they will have off, but they will start a 3-game road trip at Seattle starting on Monday.
One last point about the Yankees.
Yeah.
We talked about Judge, obviously, but they're going to be a really good team.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're the class of the American League. Like if I had to put money on it, I'm picking the Yankees to come out of the American League and represent them in the World Series. You know, the big question is this rotation going to be as good as as it might be? I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, look at Fried. I mean, the Giants, was a team that a lot of people were expecting some big things of.
Sure.
The Yankee pitching has dominated the last couple of days. Their offense is going to be good. We get that. But like when you get Cole back, when you get Rodon back, that's where, like, wow, watch out. I'll say
that's when things are going to go off the rails. That is a pretty bold statement, though. If the Yankees are coming out of it, they still got to deal with Toronto, and the Orioles are coming up. The Red Sox are emerging, but we'll see. We'll move on to the Mets, though. They took on the Pirates yesterday. They won 11-7. Just a little recap of the game. Freddie Peralta, I don't know. No, Freddie Peralta didn't have as good of a debut as anybody thought. Brandon Lau got to him twice, including on the very first pitch he saw. What were your thoughts on Peralta?
Well, I think Peralta, listen, I've said this before. I've taken some issue with my Met fan, because I'm a Met fan, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
And my fellow Met fans, when they say, oh, we got an ace pitcher. I say, listen, is he on that Garrett Crochet, Skubal, Yamamoto, even though Skeens had a bad day yesterday, we'll get to that. Is he on that level? No. But he's that next tier below those kind of pitchers, which is a really good pitcher. I felt yesterday, the first 2-run home run, I mean, I'm never going to say it's lucky, but like it was not a ball that was a wind home run. I mean, it was not a home run that, it wasn't a ball that was squared up and went 420 feet. So I think Peralta, what his performance was a little better than what his statistics were yesterday. And the one thing I'll say this about Peralta, he gave up 4 runs, but the big thing is he gave you 5 innings, and if it was later in the season, he probably would have gave you 6 innings. I understand he was at about 80 pitches when they took him out.
Yeah,
I understand
first game
took him out. But that's the thing with Peralta. That's the thing that killed the Mets last year was their pitchers never went deep into games. And what that does is, number one, you're not getting any length out of your starters, which then taxes your bullpen. It's a butterfly effect, really. It just kills your whole pitching staff. Even for Peralta, who, let's be honest, did not have his best stuff yesterday, to at least go 5 innings, give your team a chance, and obviously the offense, we'll get to that, plays great.
Yeah.
I was impressed by that. Listen, again, bottom line on Peralta, he's a good pitcher. Is he a great pitcher? I don't think so, but he's a solid pitcher. He's going to give you innings, and he's going to make 30 starts a year because that's what his track record is.
I think he has the potential to be a great pitcher, 100%. I think Peralta, he's a player that will probably get progressively better. He was just getting the jitters out early. It's opening day, and he had the cushion to do it. Why do you have the cushion to do it? Well, let's just say the Mets put up a 5-run first inning. O'Neal Cruz. I thought I've had bad days playing baseball, but O'Neal Cruz had a nightmare. I mean, that RBI triple, bases clearing triple from Brett Beatty. If you look at it on paper, it's like, okay, just an RBI triple. O'Neal Cruz took a step in. That's little league stuff there.
That's a cardinal rule. You always take a step back.
Take a step back, yeah. And even people who don't play baseball, or like even people who watch baseball don't necessarily play it, they know first step back, you never take the first step forward. And losing it in the sun too,
no, listen.
I mean,
2 things can be true. The Mets were heavily aided by O'Neal Cruz's mishaps in the outfield.
Absolutely.
And, I understand this is it's the Tri-State Sports Rumble, so we're talking mostly local teams. But quick thing on O'Neal Cruz.
Sure.
I mean, this guy was as hyped up a prospect in that Pirates organization, and let's be honest, he's never really panned out. I'm not saying he can't hit a little bit, he can, but he's not a center fielder. He's not a shortstop. He's going to be a DH, and is he good enough offensively to be an everyday DH? I don't know, but that's not really our problem. Going to the Mets offense, though. I was really impressed by the at-bats they had. Robert with a 10-pitch at-bat. Lindor walked 3 times. Soto had 2 hits with a walk. Bichette didn't have a hit, but had a big sac fly to make it a 1-run game in the first inning, which was a big play. And also the 13-pitch at-bat. I don't remember the inning, but it was bases loaded, 1 out after Soto got the RBI single to make it 7-4. Bichette has a 13-pitch at-bat, fouls off a million pitches. He does strike out, though. But what I always say about, when you have a long at bat, a 10 pitch plus at bat, don't always look at what that guy does in that at bat. Look at what happens after the fact. And after that 13 pitch at bat, it was a 4-pitch walk to Polanco and an RBI infield hit for Robert. That kind of stuff is not going to show up in the stat sheet. It's going to go down as a strikeout and run with runners in scoring position. That's true. But what that does, it tires that pitcher out and it leads to more runs later in the inning and multiple 2-out hits with runners in scoring position, which killed the Mets last year. And really, bottom line on the Mets offense, they're not going to hit as many home runs.
No.
Alonso has a 40 home run bat. Nimmo, that's a 25 home run bat. You replaced pretty much Alonso with Bichette. Bichette's not a home run hitter. Now, he's going to give you 200. If he plays a whole season, he's going to give you 200 hits.
Yeah.
He's going to give you 45 doubles, 5 triples, and 23 home runs. And going to drive in over 100 runs if he stays healthy. You know what Soto's going to do? Lindor's a home run bat. But other than that, not much of a home run team.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, they're going to put the ball in play. They're going to be big. The thing that killed the Mets offense last year, they were terrible with runners in scoring position. I think that's going to be the complete opposite this year because you got gamers, contact hitters in big spots with 2 outs that played in big games before. Semyon's a World Series champion. Bichette, we obviously know what happened last year. Polanco played big in the postseason for the Mariners. I think that the Mets offense will be better. It's going to be different, but I think it's going to be better than the one last year.
Yeah, I don't think, to your point, I think there won't be as much like firepower, but especially with Alonso out, but you'll have more clutch bats. And that's what the Yankees should kind of take note of that, actually.
I agree.
You look at how about one of the big headlines of this game, though? Carson Bench, homering in his debut. And, going into the spring, it was his position to lose. Brandon Nimmo and Starling Marte, they were both traded. Luis Robertson center, Juan Soto, big offseason announcement, got moved to left.
Which I liked, by the way.
Yeah, because he was a train wreck in right field. You watch him on the Yankees.
It's easier to play left field at Citi Field than play right field. So that's what I liked. And going to the Bench point, listen, I'm very high on Bench. You got to give him some time. I know he had a home run yesterday, but we'll see what happens with him throughout the course of the season. The big one I want to mention, though, is Alvarez, though.
Yes.
Had a monster shot into the left field bleachers. The thing with Alvarez, the big problem with him is that he's always hurt. He's always hurt. If you look at his numbers, his OPS, his average from last year, it's not bad, especially for a catcher. Dare I say they're good offensive numbers for a catcher. The big thing with Alvarez is he has to play. If you could give me 130 games, he's going to at least give you 20 to 25 home runs, which easily for a catcher is very valuable. And if Alvarez, remember, Alvarez at one point was the #1 prospect in baseball in 2022. He really hasn't lived up to that in his early career, but that doesn't mean he can't, though. If he can have a breakout season with Luis Robert, it's just going to make the Met lineup even more scary.
Oh, 100%. And I couldn't agree with you more. Just Alvarez just has to stay healthy. That's the thing. Mets will play the Pirates tomorrow at 4:10, Sunday
Cold
at 1:40. Oh, man, I'm not looking forward. And by the way, everybody tune in. I won't be on the broadcast, but everybody tune in at 12 p.m. because we're broadcasting Lawrence High School baseball,
First
baby.
game.
Let's go. The day's finally arrived. It won't be on here. It'll be on the retro station, but just keep it locked. You already know the drill. They'll start a 3-game set at St. Louis Monday. We'll dive into the Phillies real quick, but before we do that, we got to dive into some underwriting announcements. Spring is finally here, and so is 107.7 The Bronx Excellent Egg Hunt. So make sure you join the Bronx on the campus mall on Tuesday, March 31st at 11 a.m. to experience the event we won Best Giveaway for at the 2025 IBS Media Awards. And on a little side note, make sure you stop by Table 3. You'll see me and Nolan right there. And a big shout out to Lindsay Scarola, who will also be there. There are 10,000 eggs, 20,000 pieces of candy, and a chance to win almost $40,000 in prizes, including our biggest and most iconic prizes, a Royal Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas provided by Josh Harry Travel, and a 1.77 carat diamond pendant from Peroni's Hidden Treasure. For all the deets, including everything to do and eat, go to 1077thebronx.com/egg hunt. We'll be back with more of the Tri-State Sports Ramble after these underwriting announcements on your 3-time 2026 Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Award winner, 1077 The Bronx.
Oh, it's so hot. I'm so hungry. I could really go for a sandwich. Ow, my head. Build the ultimate Bronquich? Rider University's new signature sandwich? Yeah, I could go for that. Wait, we have to make it? We have to make it and name it?
Yeah.
Who are you? How did you find me?
You're crawling around on the beach, dude. You've been here for like 2 hours max. Whatever. All you have to do is enter a sandwich recipe and make an Instagram reel to tell us why you believe you created the ultimate Bronkwitch.
That sounds like too much work. What's even the point?
If you get first place, the prize is a Royal Caribbean cruise for 2 to the Bahamas, courtesy of Josh Harry Travel, the Yo Cuz food truck at your next on-campus event for 1 hour, and of course, your sandwich served at Muller's Pub and at the Yo Cuz food trailer's catered events.
I could use a cruise.
Couldn't we all? But you could be in the running for the 3 finalists who compete on April 28th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You have from now to April 5th to enter. For all the other information, go to 1077thebronx.com/buildabronkwitch and maybe you could win it.
Do you wake up and feel like your mornings are just missing something? Certainly nothing worse than your coffee just not hitting the same. But there has to be something, right?
Yeah, baby! Yeah, there is! Weekdays, you won't even need coffee. You'll be running on life's purest energy, all thanks to the crew at Wake Up Rider. Your favorite IBS award-winning college morning show is on every Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Not convinced? Let me help you out. You like music? Obviously you do. Bam! You like games? Of course you do. You like fun people? Duh. If you answered no to any of these questions, what are you, the fun police? And they have plenty more to offer. Wake Up Rider brings you season 9 of their usual antics, and what better way to start your morning than joining them? Unfortunately, spring break has come to an end, but if you need to keep yourself occupied, go to 1077thebronx.com and listen to all of their former episodes to give your days that pizzazz. And I'll cut you a deal. I won't even judge you if it's not morning when you listen. Just make sure you're listening to Wake Up Rider on 1077 The Bronx the second that clock strikes 8 a.m. on weekdays. So set your alarm.
1077 The Bronx campus traditions are underwritten in part by Rider Dining Services. April is full of surprises, with springtime finally making its way on your radar screen. Celebrate new beginnings with friends and fusion. As the weather warms up, it's the perfect time to get out, try something new, and enjoy great food right on campus. Rider Dining is serving up all the laughs with an April Fool's Day special featuring candy sushi and Daly's Teaching Kitchen. This twist on a classic East Asian dish uses Rice Krispie treats for a good crunch, gummy Swedish fish, and fruit roll-ups to tie it all together. It's a sweet surprise. It looks like sushi but tastes like your favorite treats. On April 2nd, enjoy a delicious food-packed day with a National Burrito Day celebration at Sono's. Buy a burrito and earn free Mexican soda to accompany your meal and quench your thirst. Whether you're craving something sweet or savory, Rider Dining has something for everyone. Don't miss out on these limited time events. Follow Rider Dining Services through the Dine On Campus app or by following Rider Dining on Instagram at Rider_Eats.
Beware of the invisible intruder, naturally occurring radon gas. This sneaky threat could be hiding in your home right now, undetected. It's invisible, odorless, tasteless, and the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, claiming up to 21,000 lives each year. Could you be at risk? Radon might be creeping into your home through cracks, gaps around pipes, sump pits, or even your well water. Prolonged exposure can significantly increase your risk of lung cancer. Act now, don't wait. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection's Radon section has your back. We provide free resources and expert advice to keep your home radon-free. Visit radon.nj.gov for details on testing and radon mitigation solutions. Safeguard your family. Tackle potential radon exposure now. radon.nj.gov. Proudly sponsored by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection.
Once upon a time, a narrator was compelled to introduce a one-of-a-kind pet health show specifically designed for you. Every Saturday at 10 a.m., catch up on Monday too, 1077 The Bronx brings your pet matters into view. We have Dr. Tequiwa with plenty of pet tips to spare, made for pet owners just like you from Progressive Veterinary Care. Tune in to Your Pet Matters on Saturday at 10 when it airs. Dr. T and his team of experts are always ready to share, keeping your pets happy and healthy like we know you always do. Your Pet Matters on 1077 The Bronx has got you. Your Pet Matters is underwritten by Progressive Veterinary Care, located at 390 County Road in Skillman, New Jersey.
The Bronx Lunchbox on 1077 The Bronx and other programming on 1077 The Bronx. Retro is underwritten by Osteria Procaccini in Pennington and Crosswicks. Osteria Procaccini takes your taste buds on a roller coaster. Step
inside Osteria Procaccini to experience a loving and sustainable restaurant. Try their refreshing, jam-packed, flavorful salads, or take a nice long look at their artisan pizza menu. Each artisan pizza is made with vegan dough and is paired with a crust that is charred to perfection to replicate a true and authentic crunch. Osteria is more than artisan pizzas. It's an exceptional dining experience. Their fire-roasted entrees are to die for, roasted in a 900-degree Pompeii-style terracotta brick hearth. Choose from a classic chicken parmesan, an Osteria burger, eggplant parmesan, and more. Outside of their grand assortment of lunch and dinner options, Osteria Procaccini offers a coffee bar. Grab an Americano, a latte, espresso, or any of their other coffee options after dinner. Visit one of their 2 locations in Pennington and Crosswicks, or see what they have in store for your palate online at getforky.com.
1077 The Bronx has very exciting news. Our new video stream is officially live, as you can see right now. Now you can listen to The Bronx on air, online, and on app. Now, watch your favorite student shows live on The Bronx YouTube channel and Facebook at 1077 The Bronx, including Rider Ranks, OG Dog Garden Salad, a random after party, Beyond the Score, and now Wake Up Rider. Keep it tuned into The Bronx to listen to and now watch your favorite student shows. Welcome back to the Tri-State Sports Ramble on your 5-time National Association of Broadcasters Marconi Radio Award nominated station, 1077 The Bronx. Once again, I am your host, John Cordo, joined alongside Nolan McCaffrey. We have an additional guest now, Joshua Uhas, joining us in the booth. We got a whole party. How's it going, Josh?
It's going good. It's going good. Yankees 2-0.
All right, yeah.
Both shutouts for the first time.
I know.
So it's really good.
Life is good. And, I was complaining about Judge striking out 4 times on opening day, but who knows? He homered now. Well, maybe my mood's changed, but we were talking about the Yankees and Mets, so now it's time to talk about the Phillies. Took on the Rangers yesterday, won 5-3. Justin Crawford making his MLB debut. Kyle Schwarber, unsurprisingly, hitting a home run on opening day.
Yep.
Guys, the only thing surprising to me at this point is that it was to the opposite field, honestly.
Yeah. And he still smoked it, because that's just the art of Schwarber. Just
Absolutely.
Don't crush anything.
And Alec Boehm also went Oppo Taco in the 5th to make it 5-0. And how about Christopher Sanchez? Strong start, 10 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings, and it's only fitting because he was recently extended to a 6-year deal just a few years prior to the season. Career high 212 strikeouts last year. Rangers scored 3 and got back in it. Bryce Harper with a big lunging play on the one hop to save the day. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, I think with the Phillies, it's very simple. Their pitching, to me, is their strong suit. I know they lost Ranger Suarez, but with Sanchez, he might be the best pitcher in the National League.
100%.
I mean, I got Skeens, got Yamamoto. I get it. He was terrific yesterday. And really, and obviously Wheeler, I mean, I don't know what you're going to get from Zach Wheeler at this point. Late in his career, he obviously was out the rest of the season last year. But obviously, when he's healthy, he can pitch very, very effectively. Yeah. Offensively for the Phillies, it was nice to see Schwarber. I mean, listen, we know what Schwarber's going to do. Mm-hmm. He's going to hit his home runs. He's going to drive in his runs. Like you said, hitting it to the opposite field might have been the only surprise. Yeah. Harper, listen, is Harper the player that he was 5 years ago? Maybe not, but he's still very good. The big thing is, and I'm glad you mentioned it, is Justin Crawford. I look at him kind of like Carson Bench, where two young players both made their major league debut yesterday. Both were very successful in their debuts. If they can be productive this season, that adds another element to both of their lineups, which I think right now, and I get the Braves we'll see about the Braves, but I think they're the 2 best teams in the National League East right now.
100%. I think it has to be them until proven otherwise.
No, I
mean,
agree. Yeah.
Because the Mets are going to be led by a good, strong core. They've got young guys coming in, which that's what you want to see from these top teams, is not just that you're bringing in these big names and big guys, which is important, but also making sure you're developing these guys behind, where you're getting a Carson Bench, as you mentioned, getting them not only up and developed, but having them a role in their team. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the critiques I've had with the Yankees, is that they've really kind of stopgapped their outfield. Because when they're bringing back a guy like Grisham on a qualifying offer, what are you going to do with Spencer Jones? You're just going to keep him in AAA for that long. So I really like that the Mets found an avenue to get him in, and the Phillies getting a way to get Justin Crawford in. And I mean, the rookies this opening day.
Oh, yeah.
Just incredible. I mean, you go even out of the tri-state teams, you look at a Chase DeLauder.
Yeah,
he had
that-
2
what a
homers.
game.
Weatherholt had a homer. So these rookies are really shining. But I want to get back to the Phillies. When you look at them, especially with Christopher Sanchez, him performing well on opening day shows a lot, because a lot of these pitchers who got a lot of wear from the World Baseball Classic, they struggled.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Logan Webb. His
Webb,
outing
yeah,
was
no doubt.
really,
And Logan Webb,
really
yeah.
struggling. I mean, the Yankees that game were jumping on the first
Oh, yeah,
pitch
no doubt.
the whole time, and Webb didn't have an answer for it. And granted, Webb is usually able to kind of stop it, and then he gets better as the game goes, as every pitcher, but specifically Webb is really good at that. But the Yankees were able to hop on him early, and then you look at another guy who struggled in Skeens, granted, did not get help from O'Neal Cruz.
Nope.
But still, he didn't have his greatest stuff, and he wasn't putting it exactly where he wanted it, because even though O'Neal Cruz messed up that Beatty triple, he was still getting
Oh,
crushed.
yeah. And that Beatty triple was hit very hard. I
It
mean,
was,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was a big
crushed.
shot.
Semyon one was differently. And now Cruz should have made that play, but
Yeah.
Beatty hit it really hard. But, again, the Phillies, we know what they are. I know Philadelphia
They've
fans.
accepted their identity
Yeah.
for the last
Yeah.
couple years.
I mean, listen, Philly fans think they're like the Chicago White Sox. I mean, the way they talk about them, I mean, you would think like they're the worst team ever. I get it, but we know what they are. They're going to be a very good team with very good pitching, a solid lineup that's going to hit the long ball. In my opinion, it's going to come down to the Mets and the Phillies in the National League East. We'll see. And it's first game, obviously, but that's where I kind of see it right now.
Yeah, we still got a long season, 162 games to go. Real quickly, though, before we dive away from the MLB, some news around the Yankees just leading
Josh
up
is
to
gonna eat
leading
this
up
one
to the
up.
season. Jason Dominguez optioned to Triple-A to start the
just talked
season. He
about
actually
it.
batted .325 during spring training.
Yep.
Josh, telling by your side, you don't seem too thrilled about that. I mean,
Nope.
he had a heavy outfield to
Was
work
not thrilled
with.
with it.
I don't know. I don't quite agree with it. I really don't. Randall Grichuk making the roster over him, doesn't make any sense.
now,
Quick point on why Grichuk is there over Dominguez. They want Dominguez to get everyday playing opportunities. That he's going to get that in the minor leagues. If he's here in replace of Grichuk,
Sure.
Grichuk's a 4th or 5th
yeah.
outfielder.
And he was replacing what Austin Slater was doing
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
year, where he's
exactly.
that lefty specialist. The thing that hurt me the most and the thing that annoyed me was the qualifying offer to Grisham.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
to me, yes, he could have a good year and could translate again after the year, but it's really hampering you for where you are now. Now, granted, I didn't realize Grisham was younger than I thought he was. I thought he was like in like his mid 30s. He's actually like closer to that like 29 to 30 range, I think.
he's in his prime.
Yeah,
but,
he's in his prime, and he hit really well last year, but you're relying mostly on the fact that he's going to have those clutch moments again, especially with how you ran basically the exact same team back. The worry is that when you lose those clutch moments, you have to fill that production back up. And where is that going to come from when you're taking everyone from the last year and then just basically copy and paste it into this year?
And then the big thing is kind of regarding Dominguez, which I understand the whole Grisham thing, and I get it. And to me, I wouldn't have given him that qualifying offer. But the big problem I feel like with the Yankees is they have too many DHs.
Yes.
Stanton's a strict DH. He can't play in the field.
No.
But the thing is with Stanton is, and you saw this earlier today, he's still great offensively,
Oh, yeah.
especially in the big spot. So he still has a much value. You can't just get rid of him. Let's be honest, Ben Rice, he's really a DH. I mean, they're going to try to put him at first base and try to catch him a little bit, but that's really what he is. He's a DH. You want Judge as he gets up in the age. I mean, he's in his mid-30s. I don't know how long
Guy
he
is
can
not
play
getting
right
any
field.
younger. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
simple
would like
as
to
that.
see him
And
get
he
some
has
days
some
off
wear
it.
and some damage to his body
Well,
already.
his arm thing, he hurt his arm last season. And here's the thing also with Dominguez. He's kind of a DH a little bit,
His
too.
fielding as
He's not
well
a
is
great
also like a DH.
Atrocious.
Now,
So-
Grisham, I will give. He
No, he's
can
a great
field
defender.
really
Yeah.
well. Now, granted, the way he moves is funny because it looks like he's not moving with a lot of effort, but he is.
Yeah.
And he's not the fastest, but he has a good way of getting jumps when he needs to. And I like what he does on defense. It's just, I don't know for what was qualifying was like 21 million,
22
right?
or something
22,
like that.
Like
yeah.
22 million, I think, is a little bit too high of a price point for me to be comfortable with, especially when you have someone. Now, granted, I don't really know what Spencer Jones's fielding is like, but you have guys like that or Dominguez, which, granted, we talked about his fielding not being great, but I think this stems back to a problem they had earlier years where they've put themselves in this spot where Dominguez can't get a role and can't get his playing time, where he has to go to AAA once again to be able to get that playing time.
Yeah.
And even if Spencer Jones he was stuck in AA forever and didn't go up to AAA until just last year a little bit, where he was raking and he still didn't get that MLB position.
And I remember, you bring up Trent Grisham. I remember hopping on Nolan's show talking about when it started to hit the fan with Grisham. I mean, I was furious when that happened, just because of like the way they approached it. But yeah, no, Dominguez.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the big sleep, and I love Trent Grisham as a player. It's just those other dynamics to it.
That's too
where
much
I think
flaws
it's too much.
over like.
It's more like the back end stuff.
I think the point is that when you have so many DHs, that critical center field spot is so valuable.
It is.
Because you got to get some people playing time. And let's be honest, Spencer Jones, I don't know how good Spencer Jones is. The big knock on him is that he strikes out all the time.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, people have compared him a little bit to Joey Gallo. Like, he play the outfield pretty well. Big home run bat, but strikes out a lot. I don't know how good he is, but you're not giving him an opportunity. Like, let's be honest.
We haven't seen him really, so we don't really know.
Exactly. So, like, Dominguez at least had a chance to make the team. Spencer Jones, no matter how good he hit in spring training, had no chance to make the team because of just how the lineup is constructed. And I think that's a big problem, especially as you try to get some young players in the outfield and even in the infield to a certain extent, playing time on the big level. You just can't because you have so many DHs that you got to just like try to maneuver your lineup around.
Yeah, it's just a structure issue with the Yankees, and I think Spencer Jones cracks any other roster, but with the Yankees, it's just a little different. And he has to, work on it a little bit, and a lot of flaws. There is upside, but there's just a lot of flaws. A little too much. It's a little alarming. We are going to transition, though. Guys, absolutely. I know it's the Tri-State Sports Ramble, but gentlemen, we got some March Madness to talk about. Sweet 16 round went underway yesterday. Purdue with a 79-77 win over Texas. Trey Kaufman-Renn with the buzzer beater tip. And prior to that, Dalen Swain made a driving layup, got fouled on a three-point play, and converted with 11 seconds to go. But great to see Purdue win, guys. I mean, it's this.
I need them to keep going until at least the Final Four, and then they can go away.
That's it, 100%. Iowa with a 77-1 win over Nebraska, and the name sounds very familiar. Alvaro Folgaris. Am I saying that correctly, or am I Folgaris?
Don't ask me.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But he's been coming up big for Iowa, and even though they're not a low major, there's still a pretty good storyline.
Yeah, the fact that they just took out the number one seeded Florida, the Cinderella run's continuing, basically, and it's just good to see. And actually, a very interesting fact that I found out last minute, Price Sandford had a very solid game for Nebraska. He actually transferred from Iowa, and so he had to lose.
Revenge game went wrong.
Yeah,
quick note about that game. Only having 4 players on the court. I mean, that's crazy in that last play. I mean, for your season to pretty much end like that, that's terrible.
I can't believe that. How do you... That's little league stuff.
No,
I get having too many people, but not really. Like usually, I think you'd realize there's the whole. Now, granted, I've never been in those high, super high tension games where it's like that, but it's just so funny to see from sitting from behind the screen to see and react to.
Yeah. Now we'll look at some other games. Illinois with a 65-55 win over Houston.
I feel so
bad. That was a good game.
I feel so bad for Kelvin Sampson, bro.
Yeah.
No, did I say Kelvin Sampson? But here's the thing. I feel bad for Houston because, they've had back in the day, Phi Slam and Shama and all that. And they choked away the national championship last year. Let's be honest, against Florida, they were up with minutes ago.
If it was not for Florida and them, it was. They had a very good chance, and then the last possession was brutal. That's the one way you do not want to
Yeah.
have your season.
yeah.
You're basically, for some of those guys, their careers to end, like their collegiate
No,
careers.
Unbelievable. And yeah, it's sad to see that. But look at Arizona. One of the few games that I mentioned, like the first 3 games that I mentioned yesterday, were all kind of tight. This one really wasn't. Arizona 109-88 over Arkansas. They're in the Elite 8 for the first time in 11 years, gentlemen. Arguably the best offensive display. I mean, the
Bryce James
stats.
effect.
The stats speak for themselves. 63.5% shooting from the line. That's the most they've done in the Sweet 16 since 2005.
No, I was totally impressed with that with Arizona. I had Arkansas making it to the Final Four.
I did as well. I had Arkansas beating Arizona and then falling, but still,
I was incredibly impressed by Arizona. And listen, right now, if I had to guess on who would win the championship, if I had to put money on it, I think it's Arizona.
especially with them having Arkansas having a high-profile player, a projected top guy in Acuff, who watching him play,
Oh man,
just incredible to watch.
no, this NBA draft is going to be the last couple years. I know Flag got.
Well, I think because the COVID years are starting to weed their way out, and we're getting back to traditional guys.
Oh my, this draft. There's 5 guys that are legitimate number 1 overall
This
picks,
is going to be
honestly.
You're going to see a league change. Well, not literally a league change, but you're going to see a league changing moment with all these picks. It's just a matter of if they can handle the pressure or not. But that's for a different story. That's the games that went on yesterday. Right now, St. John's taking on Duke. St. John's winning 57-51, 12:35 to go in the second half. St. John's ranked at 5, Duke at number 1.
Big key in that game. St. John's has really struggled from the outside shooting threes and all that. They're 10-21. Duke right now is 3 of 11. That's a 7 3-point advantage for St. John's.
Advantage.
That's 21 points. Right now, St. John's leading by 5, but they're shooting well right now. They got to hit a couple more threes late in the game. But
And Duke was struggling with that against Siena as well.
Listen, they almost.
If it wasn't for Doty getting injured in that section, and I think Siena had I'm not going to say they were guaranteed to win it because nobody's guaranteed.
No, yeah.
You can't play the what if games and not be fair to the situations, but I think Siena had a good chance to take Duke, and we're seeing this top Duke team be fairly flawed. I mean, if it wasn't for Caden Boozer in the first round, they might have been screwed. And we're seeing now they're having their struggles against St. John's.
Yeah.
They're not as dominant as people think.
I think the way they played against our fellow MAC opponent, Siena, the
last year of the MAC.
Oh, man.
Before we get a new name.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they're changing the conference name.
That's right.
Wow,
Yes,
I didn't
we
even
are.
know that. Wow.
Yeah, I think the announcement was made around January, February. I
think
could be
so.
mistaken.
It's
but-
somewhere
Do you know
around
what the name is going to be, or?
No, we don't know yet.
Hey, we'll find
Ooh,
out.
that game's close and
We'll-
good.
We'll find out. Right now, Alabama leading by 2, 49-47 against Michigan. It is halftime. What will be the result of the game? We will find out.
Michigan win.
But
I need you to win.
we
Yeah, me too.
are
I need you to
going
win the chip.
Yes, you need the chip. Need the chip. Let's go. I'm pulling for Michigan State, but they're going against UConn. We'll talk about that later. For now, we have to go into underwriting announcements. You know, guys, it's not every day we get to be a hero. So we're giving you 2 days to be a hero to 3 people, all as one time. Announcing 1077 The Bronx annual Spring for Life blood drive Wednesday and Thursday, April 8th and April 9th in the BLC Cavala Room. Everyone who attempts to donate blood will get a pair of tickets to a Trenton Thunder game or passes to Sky Zone in Hamilton. At the end of the drive, 2 lucky Bronx will each score a $100 Visa gift card for being our hero. To schedule your appointment to donate blood, go to our website at 1077thebronx.com/springforlife. We'll be back with more of the Tri-State Sports Ramble after these underwriting announcements. While you're waiting for the return of my show, make sure you follow The Bronx on Instagram at 1077 The Bronx and on TikTok at 1077 The Bronx WRRC. We'll be right back with some more rambling, so stay tuned.
Eggs. You like them, you love them, unless they make you fart, in which case you probably eat them anyway. They're a great source of protein, a breakfast staple, and an indicator on if the economy is good or not. But on March 31st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., eggs will have an entirely new meaning. It's 1077 The Bronx Excellent Egg Hunt. The winner of an Intercollegiate Broadcasting Systems Media Award for Best Station giveaway is back again. The Excellent Egg Hunt is an event that'll have you hopping with joy. With 10,000 eggs, 20,000 pieces of candy, and over $30,000 in prizes, the Excellent Egg Hunt has something for everyone. With food from some of the best food trucks in New Jersey, games, a petting zoo, prizes, and much, much more. Our grand prize winner will receive a 3 or 4 night Royal Caribbean cruise to the Bahamas, courtesy of Josh Harry Travel, with other prizes including a 1.77 carat diamond pendant for Peroni's Hidden Treasures, hairstyling systems, and more. Want to learn more? Go to 1077thebronx.com/egg hunt. And we'll see you there. Because if you don't go, I'm about to win that cruise, and I don't know.
1077 The Bronx campus traditions are underwritten in part by SGA, Rider University Student Government Association. Breaking news! SGA board voting is open from Monday, March 23rd until Wednesday, April 8th. Positions up for election include Student Government President, Executive Vice President, Vice President of Finance, RHA President, ACS President, and college senators. All full-time undergraduate students are eligible to vote. You can easily access the polls through Bronx Nation to vote. You can learn more about the candidates on Thursday, April 2nd from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. during Senate in Rue Auditorium. This is a great opportunity to ask questions and make your voice heard. If you can't make it, keep an eye out for a Google form to send in your questions. Miss the deadline to run? There are still so many opportunities to get involved. Vice President positions in Student Affairs, University Affairs, Communication, and Class Connections are still open by appointment until Friday, March 27th. You can also participate as a general member or run for committee chair positions over the summer. To learn more about the election process and how to get involved, visit Bronx Nation.
Mental fitness on 1077 The Bronx is underwritten in part by LADA, the Lawrence Alcohol and Drug Alliance. Help your local community thrive drug and alcohol free with LADA, a nonprofit organization designed to educate, aid, and bring awareness to prevent the use of dangerous substances. Whether it's your children, a friend, a loved one, or a neighbor, LADA has qualified leaders to help anyone and everyone feel like themselves. LADA's mission provides you and all of your community members with the necessary resources, training, and education through a variety of programs to prevent the misuse of drugs and alcohol in the town we proudly call home. The Lawrenceville Drug and Alcohol Alliance also provides peer leadership groups for both Lawrence High School and Rider University students, and hosts community events for area residents to enjoy and learn more about the negative impacts drugs and alcohol can have on you and your well-being. For more information on how you can get involved, LADA's mission statement, their many resources, and a calendar of events and meetings, visit lawrencetwp.com/alcohol drug alliance.
The Takeover is getting a makeover. Catch the 20-track Takeover every Monday night at 6 p.m. with Cass to hear the 20 hottest songs in the music industry. Cass cooks up a playlist you're sure to love with tracks that are brand new or crazy popular for you every week. Maybe you'll hear something like... Oh, and I know this one's trending. You know what to do. Hey, Mr. DJ. Play a song of this pretty little lady. 'Cause if she dances good as she look right now, I just might make her my baby. I just might make her my baby. Hey. There's so much more where that came from. You can catch the 20-track Takeover live on 1077 The Bronx, Mondays 6 to 8 p.m. and online at 1077thebronx.com/20-track takeover. Don't forget to tune in, turn it up, and take over the night.
The Friends of a Feather Foundation was created in honor of Barbara DiLorenzo. A caring wife and mother of 4, Barbara was often described as a light in people's life, and that light would always shine through her children. At the age of 57, Barbara was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and fought her cancer for 3 years. Despite her diagnosis, Barbara maintained the light, and people never saw her sparkling smile fade away. In March of 2022, Barbara passed away. In her memory, Friends of a Feather was brought to life to bring support, happiness, pleasure, and reassurance to families that have children fighting cancer. Help Friends of a Feather to provide comfort, smiles, and a sense of empowerment to pediatric patients with Barb's Bags of Hope. Within the contents of these personalized care packages may be a blanket or a warmie, a parent and patient journal, a variety of different games for the child and parent to play, a $50 DoorDash gift card, and more. Every donation made made goes to creating a bag of hope, to give each child who receives one the courage, confidence, and hope to beat their cancer diagnosis. Go to friendsofafeather.org to give a child a Barb's bag of hope. That's friendsofafeather.org.
The Bronx Box Score and live sports broadcasts on 107.7 The Bronx and 107.7 The Bronx Retro are underwritten in part by B2 Bistro and Bar, Route 130, Bordentown. The perfect place to host your next private event is finally here. From birthdays and showers to corporate gatherings and family reunions, B2 Bistro and Bar is here to help create the perfect event. B2 provides catering specialists who will assist in elevating your event, from choosing menu selections to table decor. And with the help of B2 Bistro and Bar's executive chef and kitchen staff, you can create a customized menu that is sure to impress every single guest. That includes appetizers, entrees, and desserts to top off the celebration. Choose from 3 suitable event spaces designed to fit any gathering, from an intimate, small get-together to a grand celebration. B2 Bistro has the perfect venue for your next celebration. B2's team takes care of all the details so that you can sit back and enjoy the moment with your guests. Make your next event truly unforgettable. To learn more or start planning today, it's b2bistro.com/Bordentown. By phone, it's 609-291-0200.
If you build it, our Rider Bronx will devour it. Introducing the contest that will cement your legacy at Rider University forever. Announcing 107.7 The Bronx first ever Build the Ultimate Bronkwich competition. Be the Bronc who creates Rider's new signature sandwich to be served at Muller's Pub and on the Yo Cuz Yellow Food Trailer, and we'll send you and a guest on a Royal Caribbean for 2 to the Bahamas from Josh Harry Travel. However you slice it, this contest eats Bronx. So go to 1077thebronx.com/buildabronkwich for details on how you can enter to win. Welcome back to the Tri-State Sports Ramble on the Princeton Review's number 18 ranked best college radio station, 1077 The Bronx. Once again, I'm your host, John Coro, joined alongside Nolan McCaffrey and Joshua Uhas. We're continuing our discussion with March Madness, talked a little bit about St. John's and Duke and Alabama against Michigan. So now it's time to talk about some upcoming games that are happening either later tonight or tomorrow. Start with tonight, Michigan State versus UConn. I think this is a game that a lot of people have been talking about at this stage.
These big games being like for East Coast time at 9:45 and 10:10 are brutal.
It's terrible.
The start times for March Madness has been brutal.
But the games
honestly.
are so good.
No, I know, but
it's so unfortunate because that Michigan State UConn game.
Oh, I mean,
oh my,
Hurley
goodness.
against Izzo.
Like,
I mean,
you can't get better than that.
No, I know.
Cinema. Nah, just cinema, man. And the time is just like, especially when we have to wake up, especially if you have to wake up early tomorrow, you got stuff to do. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But we got even a later game, Tennessee against Iowa State at 10:10. Honestly, I feel like, I don't know how good of a game this is going to be. I'm not going to lie. This doesn't really
aren't
draw.
really like as deep.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not going to be watching this game.
Yeah,
I'll be glued to the Michigan State UConn game. So
too,
like,
yes, 100%.
But I don't know. I mean, I kind of like Tennessee in this game. I'm not going to lie.
I do like what Tennessee does and everything. And I think Iowa State's been dealing with and fighting through injuries, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
But even if I'm wrong, I still feel more confident in Tennessee in like a matchup between those two.
Yeah, because I feel like they've been in this position more than Iowa State in any sport. You know, I mean, the game we were just talking about, Alabama against Michigan right before we went to break. You look at that on the surface, you would think those two are playing in football, but they're playing each other in basketball. They're just good programs, 100%. All right, for tomorrow's Elite Eight games, Iowa against Illinois at 6:00. Why is it 6:09 to 8:40? Whatever. Iowa versus Illinois at 6:09 p.m. They couldn't just settle on 6:10 or 6:05. They had to do 6:09. Why? Who knows? But big one here today, gentlemen.
That one's going to be fun.
I got Illinois. Listen, Iowa's kind of been kind of the Cinderella, even though this tournament hasn't had a whole lot of Cinderellas.
Yeah.
That's been kind of what it is.
They're like the pseudo like Cinderella in a way.
But I think Illinois is very good. I think they're a national championship contender. And I just think they're just better than Iowa. Pretty much, you know.
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll take it. And then Purdue against Arizona at 8:49 p.m. tomorrow. That's going to be a good game.
Those games are so good tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was talking with Lindsay about Iowa, Illinois, and that one's going to be fun. And then Purdue, Arizona, like they're two different styles.
It's number one against number two in that side of the bracket.
Like Iowa, Illinois, you have the underdog versus the favorite and kind of a good chance to make it to the final. And then you have the other one being a complete different thing where it's just you put one Titan, you put the other Titan, and you just have them clash against each other.
I mean, listen, I think Arizona's the better team, to be honest with you. I was thoroughly impressed by their performance last night.
Things you got to be careful doubting Izzo, though.
No, I agree.
Yeah. No, you have to be careful. We got 2 minutes left, so we'll spend these 2 minutes debating who does everybody got winning the final March Madness National Championship. Who do you got? I'll start first. I got Michigan State winning it all because I think I do see some problems or loopholes when they go on the road. They're a much better home team than on the road. That's why I'm nervous about playing UConn tonight. But I think Michigan State takes it all the way. I think they overcome that. Which one do you guys want to go next? Doesn't matter.
All right, I'll go. My bracket, I picked Michigan, and I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
I think Michigan across the season, when you look at what they've done performance-wise, they've just been incredible. Lendenberg has been phenomenal, and I think the whole unit plays well, and even like a guard like Cadeau, and they have pieces all around where they're able to work with it and dominate games. Now, granted, we saw Florida was dominating games and then got knocked out, so you have to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt, but I think that Michigan I trust the most of the teams when I looked at it originally, and I still hold that thought.
Well, we both got Michigans.
Quickly, UConn all the way. Connecticut native. Beating your team tonight. Dan Hurley, 3 championships in 4 years. Caravan, all that. Terrence Reed, solo ball.
Oh, boy.
Mullins, get all those guys are going to ball out.
Well, I think I know.
We got them winning.
I think I know which game all of us are watching tonight then. Michigan State versus UConn.
Couple minutes.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Quick note. Tie game.
Between who?
St. John's, Duke. 65
St. John's versus Duke.
6 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Well, for everybody listening, do you want to find out the result of the game? Well, you can listen to the game. You can't listen to us anymore because, unfortunately, our time is up. So, thank you for listening to the Tri-State Sports Ramble, and thank you guys, Joshua Uwas and Nolan McCaffrey, for coming in this evening.
Course.
We'll be back next Friday, April 3rd, at 8 to 9 p.m. So stay tuned for more of the biggest hits and best variety on the Princeton Review's number 18 best college radio station, 3-time 2026 IBS Media Award winner, and 5-time NAB Marconi Radio Award nominee for College Radio Station of the Year, 107.7 The Bronx.
You're stepping into the ring with 107.7 The Bronx WRRC-FM, straight out of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. Like that one boxer